Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to Love Inspiry's podcast. For those who don't know, my name is Angie. I'm the founder of Love Inspiry, where our mission is to build more powerful, transparent, and durable relationships. If you guys are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Only if you like us over here. We're not trying to force you to do anything, because obviously you're gonna do it whether you want to or not. But it would be nice for the support. And if you're listening on the podcast, if you're a returning listener, we so appreciate your support. And if you are new, welcome to the show. We talk everything relationships, marriage over here, hope, inspiration. Sometimes we're serious, sometimes we just shoot the breeze. And today's episode is one of those episodes where it's kind of gonna be a little in between. It's more so with the situation that happened the other day on the Shade Room, and I'll get to that in a minute. But again, if you're watching on the podcast, make sure you leave us a review, drop us your thoughts over there, and we would so appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for being here. There is always a lesson to learn in your heartache. There's always a lesson to learn in somebody else's heartache, right? And I think, and it's not to showcase as I told you so, or that's what you get, or that's what he or she gets, whatever the case may be. But when you are learning in somebody's heartache, it's an invaluable lesson of what to do or what not to do. And I think that's important that we talk about that today. When we see couples going through things in their relationships, like toxic things, we have to tread very carefully. I know a lot of the times we tend to think so-and-so is stupid for staying, or what are they doing staying in that situation? But everybody has a boiling point. Everybody has a limit on what they can take, what they can't take, and when they've had enough. And when people have truly had enough with a situation, they will have enough. But what tends to happen is what we saw in the rapper, the baby, and the singer Danny Lay's situation yesterday, and that's disrespect. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but he got on social media, completely disrespected her, basically said she was nothing but a side chick, after continuously kind of leading her on to think that maybe they were in a relationship, because she had posted some stuff to make me think that they might have been in a relationship. But that's another topic for another day. But he basically got on, aired all their dirty laundry out for the world to see. Now obviously most of us day to day, our business is not going to be aired out in public. Our business is going to be pretty much aired out amongst ourselves, or in our family, or in our group of friends. Like, that's our airing out. It's not done on a public platform. So this was a little bit more embarrassing for me, for her, than you know, maybe what we'll go through. But embarrassment is embarrassment regardless. My thing is, I know with him, he got on and, you know, basically tried to change the narrative, or put the narrative on his side, saying how he's a father first, and, you know, his kids are important to him, blase. But my thing is this: if you can't treat the next man or woman with dignity and with respect, how can you raise a child to do so? How can you raise another human to do what you can't do? Now, if you're saying you're kin, then to me, you are making an active choice to be a butthole. This is really you just being a butthole. And the truth is, toxicity in our relationships, because that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about toxicity. The truth is, toxicity is very subjective, right? In other words, it's a matter of personal experience. What is toxic to me might not be toxic to you based on my own personal experience. Like, you know, for me, lying and cheating is toxic because I didn't grow up seeing that. Now, whatever they were doing, that's fine, but I didn't grow up seeing that. I didn't grow up seeing my peoples with another man or another woman while they were married to my mother or my father or my grandparents. I never saw that. So toxicity is subjective, and that's why I asked on social media on Tuesday, what is toxicity to you? What does that truly mean to you? Because I was curious to hear the different views and opinions of what people truly thought about toxicity. And when I think about their situation, the rapper and the singer situation, the disrespect is heavy. And one thing that I want to say to men that all of a sudden when their woman gets pregnant and now all of a sudden they don't like her anymore or she's unattractive. You have to understand, I've never bore children. I've never had that experience, but I've been around multiple women that have bear children. And the thing is, postpartum is so real and it comes in many different forms. And I thought it was so disrespectful to the woman that gave birth to your child, that you would get on a public platform and disrespect her to the extent that he disrespected her. And I think this is a message for men, that just because you think your woman is holding it down and she's handling it, on the inside, she really could be falling apart. She really could be aching and just needing you to just step in, not her having to ask you to step in. You should, some things you shouldn't have to ask. You should just know, all right, my woman is holding down the fort. She's taking care of my baby. She had my baby. She's taking care of my baby. She's doing her thing. She's going to work. She's holding it down. There's something small that I can do to ease this transition, especially for new moms, right? This young woman is a new mom. She has a 3-month-old baby. We don't know what's going on with her mental. And men have to start understanding that postpartum is real, and it doesn't just happen a month, 2-3 months after the baby is born. It could literally happen a year later. So I think for men, this is a learning lesson for you guys to understand that everything doesn't have to be said. Like I said with grief, when my husband was going through his when he lost his mother, he was grieving. I told y'all that there were some things that bothered me, but I had to put that on the back burner because it was not important at that time. He's grieving, he's going through something. And it's the same thing with pregnancy. Whatever you were feeling towards this woman, it doesn't matter, because you have this, now you have this human involved that both of y'all need to be taken care of, and both of y'all need to be on your A game for this child to be taken care of in the best way that they can be taken care of. So I just wanted to say that to men. Be mindful of that. Truly be mindful of how you're treating a woman after she has had a baby. So much happens in the body. So much happens, you know, and just on a period in general. I can only imagine with having a child, but so much happens that we have to be very calm in our approach. We have to be calm in our demeanor, how we're treating what we say, because sometimes what we say can come off very aggressive. It can come off very mean, and it might not be mean to you. You might not have meant to say it mean, but that woman who's going through so much trauma is experiencing that. So I just wanted to say that. Also, too, you don't embarrass someone for everybody to see. I'm a firm believer in some stuff staying between partner and partner. There's a lot of stuff. I have very good friends. I have a handful of really good friends that I share a lot of information with. But there's some stuff that I am not going to share with them about my husband. That's his insecurities, that's his vulnerabilities. All that stuff is off limits, because that stays between husband and wife. And you don't air your dirty laundry out to your family members. And I'm talking about that real dirty laundry. Now, you know, even if it's just small, like you got into a fight this day and you don't like them now, all of a sudden, blah, 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 whatever. You don't do that either. But the big stuff, like somebody's vulnerabilities, that stuff is off limits. That stuff should stay between you two. Now, of course, I believe in having a trusted friend. But again, like I said, talk to Jesus, okay? He won't tell nobody. And he's the only one that can really fix the problem anyway. So coaches can't fix it. Life coaches can't fix it. Therapists can't fix it. Counselors can't fix it. The great physician, the good physician, that's the only person that can fix it. So when you have a situation like that, talk to them, or talk to him, talk to Christ and Christ alone. But stop airing your dirty laundry out for people to pick at and pick and choose and try to piece stuff together. It doesn't work that way, because at the end of the day, you're only telling half of the story. There's your story, there's somebody else's story, and then there's what actually transpired. Everybody's story is going to be based on their experience of it, right? You may have tell a story that is not how it really happened, but you have so much conviction and passion behind it that it's coming off more serious than what it actually was. I think with this situation, when people do this, and this is why it's important to know who you're dating, because clearly narcissism is involved in this relationship, right? He wanted to control the narrative. That's why he came. That's why we go to, that's like me going to my husband's sister and telling her stuff about him. I want to control the narrative, so she has this idea that her brother is X, Y, and Z. No, you don't do stuff like that. You don't do stuff like that. That's to me, that's toxic. When you have to go to other family members to down your significant other. And I'm not talking about venting. I'm talking about really just downing them, belittling them to somebody. You don't do that. And that's what happened yesterday. He clearly belittled her. He clearly wanted her to, wanted people to think that she was cuckoo, that she was crazy. Those was the words he used. You're cuckoo. Look who I'm dealing with. This is what he was doing. Look who I'm dealing with. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over here. That's the narrative. And we have to be mindful of that when we are in our own relationships day to day, not trying to control the narrative. Let it be. What is what is. Also, I wanted to discuss some situations with the woman on this end. So you have this man, right? He is extremely nasty to you. He has shown you who he is. Maybe he has other relationships. Maybe he has another baby mama and he has treated her like crap. This pick me thing that women do, I am the chosen one. I'm the one that's going to make him change. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that for him. It's not healthy. People have to want to change. And I know we hear this time and time again. I know we hear this so much, and it's kind of even cliche for me to even be saying. But change must come from within. Otherwise, it's not going to be made. It's just going to be, it's going to be fake. Change that's forced does not last. It may last. He may get right for 2 weeks. Hell, he may even get right for half a year, maybe a year. But if the change is not something that this man or woman wants, if it's not internal, if they don't know that what they're doing is wrong, then your efforts to try to change, your effort to be the pick me, I'm the chosen one, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that for him, is all in vain. That change has to come from within. I think women, we as women, we desire a relationship so much that we think that we're going to be the person to make this low down dirty man. Now I'm talking about men that are woman abusers. I'm talking about in physical and sexual. We think that we're going to sit and change this man who has shown us time and time again that this is how I'm going to treat women. This is what I think is okay. I want you to accept this. I want you to tolerate or get gone. Either you're going to jump on board or we're not going to do this. And a lot of women stay for multiple reasons. It could be financial reasons. It could be because you have children involved. It could be because you're just desperate. You want a relationship. Like, we stay for so many different reasons, and I know this from speaking to different women. We stay and we just want the relationship to work. I think ultimately women just want to be loved, right? We want to feel that connection. I don't know a woman out here that doesn't want to feel some kind of love from their partner, something beautiful to come home. Now, of course, you have to want to come home to yourself. You need to be okay with being alone. My husband is a truck driver along his other job as far as being a preacher, but he's a truck driver. He's gone most of the time. Not most of the time, but he's gone maybe a day or two sometimes. And I'm okay with being by Angie. It's not because I was pretty much raised as an only child. I'm not an only child, but it's because I love me. I enjoy me. I can find something for me to do. I can read a book. I can work on my podcast. I can work on my work. Or I could just sit and chill in silence. Those are some of the best times I have with myself. Just sitting in silence, relaxing, enjoying me. And I think that's what we as women have to start learning how to do. The only way that we can be better in our relationships if we're better internally. We have to be okay with us. And when we're okay with us, we will stop letting men, and this goes for men too, because women are toxic too. I don't want to seem one-sided, because this happens with men and women. When we learn to be okay, we will learn not to tolerate certain things. We will learn that when our boundaries have been or when somebody's trying to manipulate our boundaries or control our boundaries, or just flat out X them off, go over that tape, that red or yellow tape. When somebody decides that they want to do that, what we're going to do is say, no, I'm not doing this. The first time it happens. And that's severe stuff. The first time it happens. Because with some people, men and women, if you let them slide on one thing, you give them a pass, they think that's a leeway of, oh, I can do this. I can get away with this. Yeah, she knows, and men and women know what men and women they can take advantage of. That's why you have to be strong on the inside. That's why you have to know what you want. Nobody should tell you what you want. You need to know that for yourself. Also, when I thought about this situation with DaniLeigh, I thought about women that like toxic things. The truth is, some women like to be in toxic relationships. Some men like to be in toxic relationships. And I almost felt like that with the baby in her. Do they like this drama? Do they like this mayhem that they're causing? Some people really truly thrive, and it all depends on how you were raised. Now, I don't know their personal backgrounds. I'm speaking in general right now. How somebody is raised, and this is why it's so important to get to know who you are with, because how somebody is raised tends to govern how they act, how they treat you, how they communicate. All of these things are governed by where somebody was raised, in the environment, how they were raised, who was raising them. Was it another child raising them? Was it a situation where it was a teen raising a child raising a child, whatever the case may be. But some people are really truly wrapped in or governed by how they are raised. And so they tend to accept this behavior. They tend to normalize this behavior. And I think one of the R. Kelly girls was saying that in her interview that she just recently did with 𝐏𝐨𝐝, where she kind of knew the behavior is wrong, but she was doing it so much, going through it so much, that she kind of normalized it in her head of, oh, this is what he wants, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to make this normal for him. And it's never the case. And that's why you need to be, like I keep going back to that, that's why you need to understand who you are and know what you want, so somebody doesn't normalize negative toxic behaviors like that. I think women and men, we need to understand that there's healthy relationships and then there's unhealthy relationships. And healthy relationships don't embarrass you. Healthy relationships, yes, they have their ups and downs. You may break up one day. That doesn't mean that your relationship is toxic. You may get into an argument one day. That doesn't mean your relationship is toxic. You may have a difference of opinions. That doesn't mean a relationship is toxic. But that doesn't mean that you go belittle this person, that you go tell people everything that they're doing wrong, or you don't put them down. Whatever the case, it's not that. It's not narcissism. It's not making you look like you are the one with the problem when it's really them with the problem. And if you're in a relationship like that, you definitely need to get out. If a person can never take accountability for their role in the situation, you have to get out of that. I think there are some important lessons in this, and I want us to go over them for people that's on the inside that's dealing with a toxic relationship and there's kids involved. This is really important to watch who we are having children with. If you have them too fast, you may end up with somebody like the baby. You may end up with somebody that clearly is narcissistic. They've shown that multiple times. You may end up with somebody who is going to, and you know what, ultimately, not just that, ultimately the children are the future, right? You know, we all know that. But when we are deciding on having children with somebody, we want to make sure that we're having it with the best person. Now, obviously, this person is not going to have, is going to have flaws, right? But if their character is good, if their integrity is good, that's fine. I know so many women that are dealing with so many issues because of character flaws. Nothing else really matters. But if you have some character flaws, if you're laying down with somebody that has character flaws and you have a child by this person with character flaws, expect for some drama to happen. And expect to understand that this person has shown you who they were. We just choose to ignore the red flags. We just choose to act like it doesn't exist. Most of us are looking for that fairy tale. Most of us are looking for that great relationship. But you're never going to find a great relationship if you keep ignoring red flags. You're going to go down the same path, this same dead hole. Also, like I said earlier, the lesson in this is to understand that change must come from within. It's not about you. It has to be about them in this case. They have to want to do better. For people on the outside looking in, this is where I spoke about this before, where we learn to mind our business in situations like this. Now, I'm trying not to speak on their situation too much because we only can see surface level stuff. We don't see what's in. But I say that to say people will leave when they've had enough. We can't force them out of it. We can't make them, understand. This is not, when people have had enough, they have had enough. My grandma told me a story about a family member. I'm not going to say who it is, but this person was in a relationship. They were dealing with so much with this person, and one day this person left over something stupid, like something completely stupid. This is what she's telling me. It was dumb, the reason why they said they left. But it wasn't that reason. It was the buildup of things. And when people are sick and tired, they will be sick and tired, and they will be ready to leave that relationship when they are ready. And if you're constantly going through disrespect in your relationship, if you're seeing disrespect, all you can do is wait it out. All you can do is wait till this person has decided, I am worthy. I am enough. Like my shirt says, I am enough, and I'm not going to tolerate this. I don't have to tolerate this. I don't need to tolerate this. A lot of people are saying, well, she'll be back with him by Thanksgiving, or she'll be back with him by Christmas or New Year's, or whatever the case may be. And guess what? If she is, when she truly gets ready, she might be at her breaking point right now. When she truly gets ready, and when whoever you're dealing with gets ready, when they're ready, when they are sick and tired, they're going to be sick and tired, and they will leave for good. All we can do is be there as friends, as family members, and just ride the wave. Ride the wave. Just be there. People have to experience for themselves, and I think that's good, because when you experience for yourself, then you're really truly aware of, all right, this is what I don't want for my next relationship. This is what I don't want for my child. You're done. And when you're done, it's okay to be done. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Just talk about toxicity. Just a matter of that situation. It kind of bothered me a little bit because I was just so aggravated with how, especially with her just having a baby, I was more so aggravated with that. Clearly, if you watch the video, she looked very distressed. She looked very much in, like, she just, not very pretty girl, but just like she just had a baby. And we need to take that time to be more nurturing. We as women need to understand that these men, and men too, need to understand that women, they can only change when they're ready to change. And we have to be okay with understanding that we may not be the person meant to be with this person when they have changed. I believe in seasonal people. I believe in seasonal friendships. I do believe in friendships that are just going to be friendships forever. But I do believe that there are seasonal friendships. I believe that there are seasonal relationships, seasonal things that are meant to come to teach us a lesson. I truly, truly believe in that. So nothing ever done is in vain. No child is ever, the Bible says children are a gift. So everything happens for a reason. Whatever you're going through, your specific situation is happening to you for a reason. However, we have to understand that we have to know when enough is enough. We have to know when, and that's using discernment. We have to start picking better partners to not put ourselves in certain situations to have these things like this happen. We cannot change them. We have to stop ignoring red flags, and we have to start being better individuals. Self, right? This is not about anybody else. This is about self. Being better for ourselves so we can be better in the relationships. That's the only way. So I just wanted to hop on, like I said, and say that let me know your thoughts on social media, or if you're watching on YouTube, let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to know your feelings about this, and just what you think about the overall situation. with women staying with men that they know are not good men. It's true, some people are just not good people. What are we supposed to do about that? It's nothing to do. So just think about that as we journey on. I don't know if this is going to be the last podcast for the year. I may do one more in December and then cut off until January. But thank you guys all so much for your support throughout this year. I hope to service you better, more next year, more podcasts, more love and inspiration and all that good stuff. So guys, I'll see you all in the next one. Have a blessed day.